The collapse isn't near. It's already here, crashing down fast, ruthless, and unstoppable. 2025 isn't just another year. It's the tipping point, the moment when industries we thought were untouchable crumble under their own weight. Beloved restaurant chains, family favorites, gone. Not with a whisper, but with a seismic shockwave shaking every city, every town, every neighborhood across America. In the past 12 months, we've witnessed an economic storm unlike anything before. Consumer spending is disappearing, inflation is devouring paychecks faster than people can keep up, and labor costs are exploding beyond control. And lurking in the shadows of all this chaos, restaurant giants are falling, one by one. At first, the cracks were subtle. Quiet closings, a few darkened signs, but now the collapse is impossible to ignore. It's loud, it's visible, and it's accelerating. But here's the chilling truth. This isn't just about restaurants. It's not just about empty booths or closed signs on your favorite corner cafe. This is the first domino, a warning sign of something much bigger. A deeper, darker shift unraveling beneath the surface. A glimpse into what's coming next for the entire economy. And it's not years away. It's already happening right now. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover which iconic brands are in real, irreversible trouble. And trust me, some of these names will shock you. Olive Garden. When unlimited breadsticks aren't enough, it sounds impossible, right? How could Olive Garden, the place known for endless breadsticks and bottomless bowls of pasta, be in trouble? But in 2025, even this Italian-inspired giant is feeling the heat, and no amount of free refills can cover up the cracks in its foundation. The cost of ingredients like wheat, dairy, and meat has surged to unprecedented levels. Staples that once kept the kitchen running smoothly, flour for their famous breadsticks, cheese for creamy Alfredo, and meats for hearty lasagna, now come with price tags that are eating into profits faster than customers can say, "When you're here, you're family." To offset these rising costs, menu prices have crept higher, but here's the problem: people notice. And when your entire business model relies on affordable comfort food, that's a recipe for disaster. The dining rooms that were once packed with families celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, or just enjoying a casual night out are now half empty, even during peak hours. Why? Because family dining isn't what it used to be.
The hustle of modern life has shifted priorities.
People crave speed, convenience, and flexibility, things Olive Garden struggles to deliver with its sit-down, full-service approach. Fast casual competitors are swooping in, offering bold flavors, healthier options, and meals that don't require waiting for a server to bring the check. And then there's the brand itself. Olive Garden has always leaned heavily on nostalgia. Warm lighting, faux Tuscan decor, and dishes designed to evoke the comfort of an Italian grandmother's kitchen. But for younger generations, that charm feels less authentic and more like a corporate gimmick. They're not looking for oversized plates of pasta drowned in sauce. They're craving authenticity, fresh ingredients, and dining experiences that feel modern, vibrant, and real. Olive Garden's version of authentic just isn't cutting it anymore. Even their beloved unlimited breadsticks, a once powerful symbol of generosity and abundance, have lost some of their magic. What was once a major draw now feels like a distraction from a deeper issue. The dining experience itself feels outdated. Because here's the hard truth. Breadsticks aren't enough to fill empty seats when the entire culture of dining out has completely changed. Olive Garden is trying to adapt, experimenting with to-go orders, delivery partnerships, and streamlined menus. But the question remains, can a brand built on endless really survive in a world where patience is running out? Denny's, the end of the late-night diner era. Once the beating heart of late-night America, Denny's was more than just a diner. It was a cultural landmark, a place where night owls, road trippers, college students, and weary travelers found comfort at 3 a.m. under the warm glow of neon lights and the familiar sizzle of bacon on the griddle. But in 2025, that era is fading fast. Denny's is struggling to hold on to its identity, and ironically, the very thing that made it iconic, being open 24/7, is now its greatest weakness. Labor shortages have hit the restaurant industry hard, but for Denny's, it's been devastating. Running a diner that never closes requires a workforce that never sleeps, and that's becoming impossible. Fewer staff means longer wait times, inconsistent service, and empty dining rooms during hours that were once alive with the buzz of late-night conversations. The charm of the always open sign has dimmed, replaced by locked doors and temporarily closed notices. Those all-night shifts? They're becoming relics of a bygone era, flickering out like the neon lights that once made Denny's a beacon for the sleepless. But the challenges don't stop there. Rising food costs are squeezing profit margins to the breaking point. Ingredients that were once cheap and abundant, eggs, bacon, coffee, have become luxury commodities. To survive, Denny's has had to hike menu prices. But that's a dangerous game when your core customers are budget-conscious diners. The $4 Grand Slam? It's history. And for many, so is the habit of stopping by for a quick, cheap bite after a late shift or a road trip pit stop. And here's the final blow. Younger generations aren't lining up for greasy diner food anymore. They're chasing avocado toast, smoothie bowls, and plant-based options from trendy cafes that deliver convenience, Instagram-worthy aesthetics, and health-conscious choices. Denny's, with its sticky booths, faded menus, and dated decor, feels like a relic from another time, clinging to nostalgia while the world moves on. Even loyal customers are asking, is Denny's still relevant? And the harsh truth?
The answer is slipping away with every closed door, every darkened neon sign, and every empty booth left behind.
Panera Bread, the healthy option that couldn't keep up. Panera Bread once felt untouchable, riding the wave of the health-conscious food revolution. It was the go-to spot for fresh salads, artisan sandwiches, and that comforting aroma of baked bread wafting from every corner. But in 2025, the cracks in Panera's polished facade are impossible to ignore. The brand that once defined fast casual is now drowning in debt, struggling to stay afloat in an industry evolving faster than it can adapt. Sky-high rents in urban areas are bleeding Panera dry. Those sleek, spacious cafes, once considered prime real estate, have turned into financial black holes. The bustling lunch crowds they relied on? Gone. Thanks to the remote work revolution, office workers who once lined up for their midday pick-me-up are now making sandwiches at home. The corporate lunch rush that fueled their growth? A relic of the past.
Competition has only made things worse.
Local cafes and niche bakeries are thriving, offering artisanal products, personalized experiences, and authentic vibes that Panera's cookie-cutter model simply can't replicate. While Panera was busy expanding, these smaller competitors were busy innovating, introducing bold flavors, sustainable ingredients, and hyper-local branding that connects directly with today's more discerning, health-conscious consumers. And while Panera's loyalty program was designed to keep customers coming back, it's done little to stop the bleeding. Discounts and rewards can't mask the deeper issues. Rising food costs, stagnant menu offerings, and a brand identity stuck in the past. What once felt fresh and modern now feels bland and overpriced, especially when more exciting options are just around the corner. The truth is, Panera Bread isn't just losing money, it's losing relevance. A brand that once set the standard for fast casual dining is now struggling to answer a simple question. Why should people choose Panera? And if they can't find that answer soon, the future looks anything but fresh. Cracker Barrel, a nostalgic favorite, facing a harsh reality. Cracker Barrel was once the epitome of Southern comfort, a place where the scent of warm biscuits mixed with the creak of old rocking chairs welcoming generations of families. It wasn't just a restaurant, it was an experience. But in 2025, that charm is fading fast. The very nostalgia that once made Cracker Barrel iconic is now part of what's dragging it down, as the harsh reality of today's economy exposes just how fragile that old-fashioned model really is. Inflation has hit Cracker Barrel's core demographic like a freight train. Older Americans living on fixed incomes, once the heart and soul of Cracker Barrel's customer base, simply can't afford $15 pancakes or $12 plates of biscuits and gravy anymore. What was once an affordable weekend treat has become a luxury many can no longer justify. For the families who used to gather around those rustic tables, rising costs mean cutting back on dining out altogether, leaving empty chairs where memories used to be made. But the bigger problem? Younger generations aren't buying into the nostalgia. Millennials and Gen Z aren't lining up for rocking chairs, country store knickknacks, or gravy-soaked comfort food that feels stuck in time. They crave bold flavors, modern aesthetics, and menus that cater to health-conscious, diverse tastes. Cracker Barrel's offerings, heavy, traditional, and unapologetically old school, just don't resonate with an audience looking for something fresh, vibrant, and exciting. To make matters worse, the rural roadside model that once fueled Cracker Barrel's growth is becoming a liability. Fewer people are taking long road trips, and highway traffic isn't what it used to be. Even when travelers do stop, they're more likely to grab something quick and convenient rather than sit down for a full meal in a dimly lit dining room filled with vintage Americana decor. The roadside charm that once felt inviting now feels outdated and impractical. Cracker Barrel's attempt to modernize, adding alcohol to the menu, tweaking recipes, and experimenting with new concepts feels like too little, too late. The brand is caught between two worlds, trying to hold on to its aging loyalists while desperately attempting to appeal to a younger crowd that simply isn't interested. And in the process, it risks alienating both. The truth is, Cracker Barrel isn't just facing an economic crisis. It's facing an identity crisis, a struggle to stay relevant in a world that's moved on from what it used to be. And unless it finds a way to bridge that gap, this nostalgic favorite could soon become just that. A memory. Starbucks, the coffee giant on the brink. Yes, you heard that right. Even the so-called king of coffee isn't safe. In 2025, Starbucks is staring down a crisis that no seasonal flavor or trendy frappuccino can fix. The very foundation of this global giant is cracking under the relentless pressure of rising wages, skyrocketing real estate costs, and an oversaturated market that's suffocating its own growth. Store closures aren't just happening, they're accelerating. And while the company tries to keep it quiet, the signs are impossible to ignore. Darkened windows, for lease signs, and once busy locations reduced to empty shells. Their rapid expansion strategy, once hailed as a genius growth model, has turned into their Achilles heel. Some Starbucks locations are literally steps away from each other, cannibalizing their own sales and draining profits instead of boosting them. The saturation is so intense that even loyal customers are starting to feel the fatigue. Because when there's a Starbucks on every corner, the magic wears off. It stops feeling special and starts feeling disposable. Add to that the chaos of supply chain disruptions, delays, shortages, rising costs. Keeping shelves stocked has become a logistical nightmare. Meanwhile, the cost of coffee beans is skyrocketing, driven by climate change, unpredictable harvests, and global supply issues. Every cup poured comes with a price tag that's eating into margins faster than they can raise prices. But here's where it gets worse. Consumer habits are shifting, and Starbucks is struggling to keep up. People aren't enchanted by overpriced lattes and mass-produced paper cups anymore. There's a growing appetite for authenticity, cheaper, locally roasted brews with bold flavors and real character. Independent coffee shops are thriving, fueled by communities that crave something personal, not just a corporate logo stamped on a cup. Starbucks, once the ultimate symbol of global coffee culture, now looks like a fragile empire built on branding rather than resilience. And here's the harsh reality. No matter how much they pour into marketing campaigns or limited-time drinks, they can't outspend the economic storm that's closing in fast. Buffalo Wild Wings. When wings become a luxury, survival gets tough. Wings were once the ultimate comfort food, cheap, flavorful, and perfect for game day. But in 2025, Buffalo Wild Wings is facing a harsh reality. Wings aren't cheap anymore, and neither is survival. The price of chicken has soared, and that's hitting B-dubs right where it hurts. They're stuck with two bad options, shrink portions or hike prices. And guess what? Customers hate both.
No one wants to pay more and get less, especially for something as simple as chicken wings.
But the challenges don't stop there. The cost of beer, once their ultimate crowd pleaser, has shot through the roof, turning casual pitchers into pricey indulgences.
Add to that skyrocketing rents for their massive sports bar locations, and suddenly, even the packed game day crowds aren't enough to cover the bills.
And speaking of game day, that's changed too. Sports fans aren't flocking to bars like they used to. Why fight for a table, overpay for drinks, and deal with noisy crowds when you can watch the game from the comfort of your couch with a fridge full of cheap snacks and cold beer? Buffalo Wild Wings tried to bank on the atmosphere, the big screens, the energy, the camaraderie, but that's not enough when the economics just don't add up. The same things that once made them a success, their size, their menu, their business model, are now the anchors pulling them down. Because when your core product is no longer affordable, your survival is anything but guaranteed. Shake Shack. The boutique burger bubble is bursting. Shake Shack was once the crown jewel of the foodie scene, a sleek, modern burger joint that turned fast food into an upscale experience. But in 2025, the shine is wearing off. The boutique burger bubble is bursting, and Shake Shack is feeling the pressure. What was once seen as innovative now feels overpriced and overhyped. Let's face it, People aren't lining up to pay $12 for a single burger when they can get one for half the price somewhere else. The problem isn't just the price, it's everything behind the scenes. Labor costs have skyrocketed, squeezing profits at every location. Supply chains? A logistical nightmare. Ingredient shortages, delivery delays, and inconsistent quality have made it harder to deliver on the brand's promise of premium fast food. And here's the kicker. As costs rise, they've had to raise menu prices, but that's a deal breaker for customers already feeling the pinch of inflation. Shake Shack's rapid expansion hasn't helped either. They grew too fast, opening new locations without fully securing the long-term demand to support them. What used to feel exclusive, a hip, must-try spot, has become just another burger chain, fighting for attention in an overcrowded market. And in the world of fast food, being just another option is the first step toward irrelevance. So now Shake Shack is stuck, too expensive to compete with traditional fast food and not unique enough to justify the premium price. The trend that made them famous is fading, and the question is, can they reinvent themselves before the bubble finally bursts? Popeyes, the chicken craze that couldn't last. Remember the viral chicken sandwich craze? The one that had people lining up for hours, sparking social media battles, and even causing traffic jams? It was the marketing jackpot of the decade. A moment when Popeyes wasn't just a fast food chain, it was a cultural phenomenon. But here's the thing about viral trends. They don't last. The hype faded, and when the dust settled, Popeyes was left facing the harsh reality of an unsustainable business model propped up by a fleeting fad. Now in 2025, Popeyes is battling on all fronts. Supply chain issues are crippling operations, with key ingredients delayed, prices skyrocketing, and consistency becoming a distant memory. What used to be a simple, affordable meal has turned into a logistical nightmare. Rising food costs, especially for chicken, the core of their entire menu, are squeezing profit margins to the breaking point. They can't keep raising prices without driving away customers, but they also can't absorb the costs without bleeding money. And it gets worse. Behind the scenes, franchise disputes are tearing the brand apart from within. Tensions between corporate and franchise owners are at an all-time high, with disagreements over everything from pricing strategies to supply shortages. Some franchisees are abandoning the brand altogether, frustrated by policies that make profitability feel impossible. Popeyes thought it had secured its place at the top with one viral hit, but now it's clear. The sandwich craze was just a sugar high, and the crash has been brutal. Friendly's, not so friendly to its bottom line. Friendly's wasn't just a restaurant. It was a slice of Americana, a place where families gathered after Little League games, where ice cream sundaes felt like a celebration, and where the red and white booths held countless memories. But in 2025, those memories are fading fast, and Friendly's is closing locations faster than they can flip their signature burgers. The harsh truth? Nostalgia doesn't pay the bills. They simply can't compete in today's fast casual battlefield. While places like Chipotle, Panera, and Shake Shack have redefined what quick dining looks like, offering fresher ingredients, faster service, and trendier menus, Friendly's has been stuck in the past. Their once charming diners now feel outdated, and their menu, once a comfort food staple, struggles to attract younger generations looking for healthier, more innovative options. The financial picture is even grimmer. Rising food costs have made it nearly impossible to maintain affordable prices, and labor shortages have left many locations understaffed, leading to slow service and frustrated customers. The result? A downward spiral that even their famous ice cream can't sweeten. Friendly's isn't just losing money, it's losing relevance. And in the restaurant industry, once that happens, there's rarely a comeback story. Quiznos, the forgotten sandwich chain. Hanging by a thread, once a rising star in the world of fast casual dining, Quiznos was the place that promised something different. Oven-toasted subs, bold flavors, and a sleek, modern vibe. But fast forward to 2025, and Quiznos is little more than a fading memory, clinging to life with only a fraction of its former locations. What happened? It's a story of missed opportunities, poor management, and an inability to adapt in an industry that punishes stagnation. While competitors like Subway managed to stay afloat through aggressive marketing and rapid expansion, Quiznos crumbled under the weight of its own mistakes. High franchise fees pushed out small business owners who simply couldn't turn a profit. Outdated menus failed to evolve with changing tastes, offering the same tired options while rivals introduced fresh ingredients and customizable choices. And poor management decisions, From overpriced supply contracts to inconsistent quality control, turned what was once a beloved brand into an afterthought. But Quiznos isn't just a story about a failing sandwich chain. It's a cautionary tale. A reminder that even brands with strong starts can fall if they don't adapt, innovate, and listen to their customers. And in today's brutal economy, that lesson applies to more than just restaurants. The bigger picture. What this really means. So what does this all mean? It's more than just a list of restaurants closing their doors. It's a sign, a warning, that the economy is under immense pressure. When billion-dollar brands with global recognition can't survive, what does that say about the rest of us? These aren't small, struggling businesses. They're corporate giants with vast resources. Yet they're crumbling under the same economic forces we all feel. Inflation, supply chain disruptions, skyrocketing costs, and shifting consumer habits. This isn't just about food. It's about the fragility of systems we thought were unshakable. It's a glimpse into how quickly things can unravel when companies, and even entire industries, fail to adapt to the harsh realities of an evolving world. Now more than ever, it's time to stay informed, stay prepared, and support your local businesses whenever you can. Because while big corporations may fall quietly, the ripple effects reach us all. If you found this video valuable, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an urgent update from Preppers Community. Stay safe, stay prepared. Until next time.